Hi everyone. Today what we're going to discuss would be exponents and order of operations. Okay, so let me start with exponents. Exponents is just the shorthand of multiplication. So if you multiply 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, you have how many 2's? 4 of them, you end up with 16. Or you could rewrite them this as 2 to the 4th is equal to 16. The 4th would be telling you how many times that you are going to multiply 2. Okay, so just some basic ideas. So for instance, if I say now 2 to the 4th is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, which is going to give us 16, right? And then you can also have negative 2 to the 4th. And let's see what we can come up with. This is negative 2, negative 2, negative 2, and negative 2. And you know, 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is 16. But what would be the sign? The sign would be negative times negative is positive. Positive times negative is negative. And negative times negative is positive. So you're going to get the same outcome. Whereas if you do negative 2 to the power of 4 without the parentheses, mind you, negative 2 to the power of 4, this means you put negative outside and then you are multiplying 2 by itself 4 times. You know 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 would give you 16, but since you have a negative sign, so bring it negative 16. So know the difference between this on one hand and this one on the second hand. Both of these end up with a positive outcome, but the last one comes up with a negative outcome. So that's the synopsis behind what we mean by exponents. Okay? So, once we do that, then we're going to go ahead and do order of operation. So, the order of operation, I think you know about this probably in high school. We always deal with what we call PEMDAS. First, you deal with the parentheses, then exponents. This one, multiplication and division, whichever comes first, you have to do it. So, multiplication or division, whichever appears first. And then this one is addition and subtraction, also whichever comes first. So, addition and subtraction. Okay, so let's start with, suppose you have 5 plus 2 times 3. So you are going to simplify this. Mind you, this is multiplication and this is addition. And according to PEMDAS, multiplication comes first. So you cannot add these two together unless you multiply 2 by 3. So this would be 5 plus 2 times 3 would be 6, and 5 plus 6 would give you 11, and then you're done. Okay. Another, what we could do, so now you have 10 divided by 5. plus 2, and then the absolute value of 3 minus 4. Oh, by the way, probably I might not have told you about the absolute value, but I assume that you will be knowing. So before we do that, the absolute value means what? Anything that comes out of the absolute value always ends up being positive. So the absolute value of 2 is 2, and the absolute value of negative 2 is also 2. Okay? So anything that comes out of the absolute value, you always deal with that. Okay? It becomes positive. So let me rewrite this step by step. I have to solve this because I have to treat it as if it is a parenthesis. 10 divided by 5 plus 2, then 3 minus 4. Let's simplify this. So this is negative 1, the absolute value of negative 1. Then I'm going to do 10 divided by 5 plus 2. You know the absolute value of negative 1 is 1, so put a parenthesis. Now you have what? Subtraction, addition, and multiplication. So go ahead and divide 10 by 5. 10 divided by 5 is 2. Don't add yet. Plus, then multiplication is what? 2 times 1 is 2. And 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. And then you're done. Okay. And now, let's look at another example. You have 4 times 3 to the second plus 7 minus 2 plus 8. Okay. Again, we follow PEMDAS. Don't rush when you do these things, otherwise they are so easy. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite this 4 times 3 to the second plus 7 minus, I'm going to simplify 2 plus 8, which would give us what? 10. In fact, I might as well get rid of the parenthesis because I don't need it anymore. Okay. Now, so I got rid of the parenthesis. Now there is exponent. The exponent is 3 squared. So before I multiply 4 by this, I have to simplify the exponent. 3 squared is 9 plus 7 minus 10. Now your multiplication. Okay. So 4 times 9 is 36 plus 7 minus 10. Now you can do whatever you want. Now 36 plus 7 is 43, and 43 minus 10 is 33, and then we're done. Okay? Do another example. Times 4 plus 6 divided by 3 minus 7. Okay? Again, don't rush to do the work. Just see what comes first. What do you need to do first? Look at PEMDAS. So we have to simplify everything inside the parentheses. So I'm going to rewrite this again. 1 over 2 times 4 plus. Now, within the parentheses, there is a division and subtraction. So I have to do what? I have to divide first. 6 divided by 3 is 2, and 2 minus 7. Again, inside the parentheses. Third step, half times 4. Now, I want to get rid of the parentheses. 2 minus 7 is negative 5. Okay. I might as well rewrite this again. Half times 4. You know plus times minus is what? Minus, so it becomes minus 5. Now this is multiplication. Half times 4 is what? 1 times 4 is 4. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So this is 2 minus 5. And 2 minus 5 will give you negative 3. And then you're done. Okay? Probably let me do one other. Now 5 minus negative 2 to the third times 2 over 6 times the square root of 9 minus 9 times 2. By the way, the square root also you have to treat it as if it is an exponent. So you have to simplify first. But first let's try to simplify just the top. Don't worry about the bottom. You have a parenthesis, you have an exponent, you have multiplication, and you have subtraction. So I'm going to write 5 minus, well, the parenthesis is not that relevant right now because it has only one term. So minus, I'm going to put a parenthesis, minus 2 raised to the power of 3 is minus 2 times minus 2 times minus 2. And if you do that, you end up with minus 8. Okay? This means minus 2 times minus 2 times minus 2. Minus 2 times minus 2 is 4. 4 times minus 2 is minus 8. Bring down the 2 because that's what you are going to multiply negative 8 with. Now we have subtraction and we have multiplication. So you have what? 5 minus, first do the multiplication. Negative 8 times 2 is negative 16. Okay. Now combine these two together. 5 minus negative 16 is 5 plus 16, which is 21. Guess what? When we simplify the top, we end up with 21. Okay, so now we are done with the top. Now let's go ahead and do the bottom one. You have 6. The square root of 9, change it, the square root of 9 is 3. Minus 9 times 2. 6 times 3, now this is multiplication and this is multiplication. 6 times 3 is 18 and 9 times 2 is 18. 18 minus 8 is equal to 0. Then you end up with 21 over 0. And you know in math, anything over 0 is undefined. So even though you got 21 over 0, you would say undefined. Okay. Okay. So that takes care of my discussions on exponents and orders of operation. And if you have any questions, please email me. And then next time we're going to go to the second one.